Hey everyone, today I'm going to go over the directions for your fractured still life project. So step 1, you're going to arrange 3 or more objects in an interesting way. Try a few things out, put your objects in different places and see what looks good to you. I had that little polar bear, all kinds of places. I tried putting it inside the boot or in the mug, but in the end I thought this one just looked like a more interesting way to arrange them. Once you have your objects arranged, the key is not to move them or touch them as much as possible. You could also arrange them the same way on multiple days if you needed to, but take a picture of it if that helps, so that you know exactly how they were arranged. Once you have those objects ready to go, you're going to do step 1 of our drawing process, but step 2 of this project, which is draw the basic shapes. So here you can see I've mostly used circles, ovals, squares, triangles, just blocking out the basic shapes of my objects. Now there's 2 things for this step I want you to remember. Draw big. You want to fill up your paper. So this is the size of my paper. It's just going to look more interesting. It's also going to be easier to add details to your objects the bigger you draw. So try to really fill up your sheet of paper with your basic shapes. Also, draw lightly. So using your pencil, just barely touching it to the paper. Right here on my example, I made it a little bit darker just so we can see it. But just remember, you're going to need to erase some of these lines that you make later. Because again, these are just the basic shapes, so we'll be changing some of these lines as needed. Alright, once you're done with the basic shapes, you're going to move on to the contour lines. Remember, the contour lines are just the outlines of things, the inner and the outer edges of your objects. So I made these lines a little bit darker. I was still staring at my objects, and I was trying to get a little bit more accurate this time. So you'll see some of these more wiggly lines. I was just trying to stare at that boot. Same with this stuffed animal. Do your best with it. And remember, no shading on step 3. Okay. So step 4 in this project is going to be add your details. Again, staring at your objects. Remember to try to look at your objects even more than you're looking at your drawing, because you're going to notice all kinds of little details, probably some you didn't see before. So I added like the details on this mug. I added a few details to the bear, and then also the stitching that I saw on the boot. With step 4, you can also start to erase some of those lines that you didn't need anymore. So a lot of those kind of rough shape lines, you can erase those. We don't need them now. Alright, now here comes the fractured part. So step 5 for this drawing is to create 3 or more shapes. And you can just draw some basic shapes. They could be geometric like I did, so rectangles, triangles, squares. You could trace something that's a circle if you wanted. The shapes are up to you. But put them in interesting areas, so spread them out. Maybe do 1 shape per object. That's kind of what I did here. Alright, and then the last step is to add your shading or your value and your color inside of those shapes only. So it kind of makes a cool effect. Like these shapes become like a little window into the colorful part of your drawings. Once you're done with that, just go kind of slow and careful, but once you're done, there's your fractured still life. Great job. Let me know if you have any questions.